blowing a canyon. Getting everything packed up. We're gonna roll up here and get on top of this knob. See if we can get to the high ground and spot a big buck as the sun comes up. It's a race against the clock. Top here, we'll probably pick up some critters. We got a lot of area to look at. This top should give us a good view. There was like 15 deer in that gut with a good buck in there. We should see a lot up there. Just picked up a buck. We just got up to our spot here. I looked up here and I found one just crawling right up the gut all by himself. So I'm gonna throw the spotter on him. See what we got. On our first buck, he's a nice mature buck. Looks pretty boxy and heavy. He's coming right down this gut of this valley, so the wind is not in our favor. We're gonna blast just to play it safe in case he cuts over this hill. So we've got to play if he comes there and he doesn't wind us, but either way, I think if he keeps down this valley, we'll get a shot on him as well. So we're gonna take off. We're just gonna play it safe. Circle around him. Try to keep our wind really good. It's not worth taking any chances. If we lose him, we might relocate him. If he wins us, he might move to the next state. We haven't been able to find that buck yet. We're close, but he's cruising. We haven't set eyes on him just yet. We've seen a couple other bucks, 3 points and such, but nothing to shoot. But they're just cruising, man. They're just walking. Well, that buck this morning gave us the slip, and that buck gave us the slip this morning. Not sure which way he ended up going, but they can just get lost in this country. You wouldn't think they could, but they do, and so we're just gonna keep our eyes out for him. The wind was just so bad that we just couldn't make the best of plays on him, so we kind of had to take a risk, and I just don't think he ever knew we were there, but I think he just cruised out of our world here. So we're gonna go look at some new bucks and come back to this and just keep an eye out, and hopefully we find him cruising. All right, well, we're going this way. And Brian looks back that way and sees a group of deer. Pretty much where we came from, but just down in a cut. It's a younger buck. He's not one to go for, but there's a pile of deer over there just tucked away. We're still missing that big one. We don't know where he went, but they just get lost out in these coulees. So, and all the deer with this west wind, they're all tucked into those eastern slopes. It's just the problem is we have to glass from them, looking into them, so we're getting pounded with wind. But they're all just bedded up down in those cuts. There's some big tracks in the snow, but we got
those deer just moving all over. We just keep bumping them. With this kind of wind, it's just hard. You're just kind of getting quick shots, and you're just pushing deer everywhere. We want to get up high, and we don't want them to know we're even here. And we just want to watch and move in when the moment's right. And this wind, we're tucked into a little cut right here. It's not bad, but you get up in these open spots, the wind just rips. So we're gonna stop bumping deer everywhere. We're gonna tuck in for a while, see if the weather gets a little better. But there's some big old tracks in this spot. Lots of rutting activity, so we're where we want to be. And this is where we saw that big buck right off into the sunset yesterday that we came after. Haven't relocated him, and then the buck this morning, he just gave us a slip too. We don't think it was the same deer. We're gonna go set up the teepee, get some wood going, and just tuck in for a while. It's better for us just to hold up for a while. Oh, that's glorious.
It's gonna be glorious. There's some ramen and coffee.
That, my friends, was entirely predictable. I could have said ramen and coffee with bone broth and a touch of sea salt. Like I could have nailed it all. Especially the coffee. It might be a 2 coffeeer, might be a 1. We don't know. We're not super remote for 14 days. Like we're remote, but is running out of coffee the one fear you have back here? Like the biggest fear?
It's a nightmare situation for sure. So I just make sure I got twice as much coffee. Kind of like I always get twice as much wood as we think we need. I get twice as much coffee as I think I'm gonna drink. So it's never gonna happen.
Never gonna run out, folks. It's never gonna happen.
So this is my ramen right here. It's got rice noodles and chicken broth in this one, a bunch of sea salt. James is a high spender, big spender here. He's got this one.
That's like Wonder Bread.
Are these 35 cents?
29
3 for $1?
They're 29 cents.
Should have brought more of them. I should ate 3 of them right now.
It almost doesn't seem fair having a teepee and a stove and all this comfort. I mean, this is more comfortable than my trailer. The cots are nice. Beds, big foam mattresses are nice, but this cozy fire, it's hard to beat, and you're like remote. It's cool, man. That wind is just ripping. 30 knots, you said? Which, for those of you who are, not nautical, I have no idea what that means, so we'll have to check on that later. All I know is tomorrow is 10 to 20 knots. Today is 20 to 30 knots.
30 to 40 today.
30 to 40.
Up to 10.
Up to 10 tomorrow. That means tomorrow's going to be fine. Right?
Yes.
So tell me about deer and the wind.
Usually what happens is they go to bed on those real blustery ones. And sometimes they'll just hunker down. I mean, we got a west wind coming today, so they'll try to get on those eastern slopes and tuck into the brush and the rocks. And so far, it's so windy that they're not even on the eastern slopes. They're down in the holes, like right in the bottoms, and it's just really hard to get eyeballs on them. So usually we could just go and like glass into those little cuts that are kind of protected, but man, the wind is just ripping right up through everything. So they are well put away, and they have just not come out today at all. So hopefully just before we lose all our light, we might get something to come up, but this wind needs to chill out a little bit.
Well, we got up out of our shelter, and so far seen lots of tracks, but that's about it. Just trying to get lucky. See some monarch of the mountain just bedded right on a bluff, Right on the edge of the wind. It's what I'm dreaming about. Each time we poke into another cut, it's like, monster. Well, we've been up here glassing for about an hour, hour and a half. And saw a few deer, but we saw kind of a funky looking buck. Kind of want to get closer eyes on him just to see what he looks like, because he's just so different looking. Might have some trash on him. He's not super big, but he might be old. So we're gonna see if we can get closer eyes on him and see what he looks like up close. He's a cool looking deer. Well, we've been seeing a lot of deer, and got this buck over here, mature buck over here with a couple does, a little forked horn with them. Not quite what we're looking for. Our other buck was a little trashy looking, a little heavy, some bladed, not a huge rack, but a lot of character. We haven't seen him. We've been glassing the basin he walked into, but haven't laid eyes on him yet. So anyway, we'll see. Could be bedded right out here somewhere close. He might be a shooter. He wasn't obvious. You know, not too long ago, I passed up on a buck that was kind of bladed and heavy looking. We called him the brow time buck. His frame wasn't really big, but all the extras really made him a lot bigger than he looked from a distance. So I don't really want to make that mistake again. I passed on that buck. So we both want to see, besides bucks that are trashy and have a lot of stickers and junk on them, they're just fun to look at. So they're just kind of bizarre looking, different than what you normally see. So kind of hoping we see something like that. Ryan's walking out this ridge here just to glass up this basin before we turn around and come back and glass this end. Picked up a 3x4, working like 4 does right there. I see a buck that's really tired right here, lots of does. Well, we saw some really cool rut action. 3 bucks all around the group of does. We didn't see any shooters at all in the group, so we stayed there for a while and glassed, and then we've packed up, and now we're moving to a higher point closer to where we saw that trashy buck disappear this morning, and we're hoping we're gonna relocate him here soon. If not him, another beautiful buck instead. We'll see. So I just crested over this. We had that buck we want to look at shooting the gut here. Just came up through this little saddle, and I got a forky rutting 2 does. There's probably more, but we got a really good look at this whole saddle now. So the goal is to try to pick up that buck we saw. It looked like it had some trash to it, so we want to get better eyes on him. Alright, so we're watching this, just the gut of this valley, and we had 2 does come in, another doe. Now we've got a buck. It's a different buck than the one we saw, so we're expecting the other one to come in anytime. Yeah, this doe right in front of us spooked a little bit from something. just chilling with a 3x3 buck with him. We're kind of hoping that our big buck is somewhere nearby, bedded in the sage, and that he'll get up and show himself here soon. There she goes. No buck yet. Any minute now. Yeah, looking good. Staying wind. That buck can't stay bedded forever. He's gonna stand up and walk right here. James, here, let me show you how you're supposed to eat noodles. That's how they do it in other parts of the world. That's how Americans should do it.
All right. Well, we've been sitting here for hours waiting for this buck to show back up, the one we saw this morning. And he just showed up. I picked him up in the shade. There's been a group of does down there. He's cool. I want him. He's got trash and stickers and a little cheater. And he looks pretty heavy, so we're gonna boogie. We got a long flat to cover down this up the other side, but let's see if we can get on him. Yep, he's a good looking deer. He's cool. He's not a giant, he's just really cool. Got unique features on his rack, so, but he's a long ways off. The wind is perfect, and we're taking this sunny side, so it's nice and soft. Snow, a little bit of melt. Yeah, this was on. He was up against that. I'm gonna try to get up here to get a little bit of an angle on him, see if we can't see him through the crack. Otherwise, we're gonna be really close. So we got crunchy snow. That's gonna put us about 150 yards. It's too close, too crunchy, so we're gonna actually take this route. It's pretty barren of snow and the sun soft, and probably still be a 200-yard shot on this spot. down there.
James, we're just taking turns doing push-ups to keep from freezing to death. Is he standing yet? No.
I think we're close to him getting up. He's starting to move around a little bit more. He was sleeping a couple minutes ago, just head on the ground completely. Just a really cool buck. He looks really old gray face. He's got some junk, he's got some cheaters. So really cool. But I think we're close to him standing up. All the other deer have walked away. They're up and down the mountain feeding, so he's probably gonna want to go join him here pretty quick.
Oh, he's up.
You ready? He's down. He just dropped in his tracks.
I am frozen like a popsicle.
He's got so much character. It's like he's not real wide. I don't care. He's got kickers and stuff, and he just looks like a really cool looking. Oh man, oh that was good. What a cool stock. That's funny. We watched that buck pretty early, and then we've just been glassing this general area for hours, and we saw some does bedded up here, and we could see kind of a few of them. A lot of them were on the other side of this cut, and just being diligent, we finally picked him up again, and he's just feeding. Came right out of this little cut, and just bedded right in this shady spot. I don't know why. You think they'd want to be out in the sun right now? It's so cold, but really just a perfect place to get really nice and tight. 200-ish yards. So it's nice when it's just a guarantee, like one-shot kill, no question. Let's go grab our packs and put a puffy jacket on.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Got our puffy jackets on. All is right with the world again. And we'll walk up on this buck and put our hands on him.
We're just glassing him up from here. Such a cool looking rack. Great buck.
Dang right. He looks cool.
You look good, doesn't he? Not often you get to see a buck, especially around here with kickers and that kind of trash. Like perfect kickers off each side.
Holy cow. Lampers. Wow. I did not expect. I mean, I knew he was bladed.
Oh, cool. kickers, you know. This one's all bumped up and broke. What a great buck, man. I couldn't be happier. Just what a unique set of antlers he's got on him. He's got points. He's almost symmetrical in that he's got kickers and then little deviled points off of him. It's cool.
He's bladed.
He's very bladed. That's kind of what jumped out when I first saw him, was just this blade on the top. He's got 7 on one side and 6 or 7 on the other. Sorry. This is one of those bucks. He's really hard to put a size to, antler size. Typically these deer, you can see mature deer that have not the biggest bodies on them, so you really want to watch them for a while. But I knew when I first saw him this morning there was something going on, like some type of a crown or some stuff, so that got me excited. And then just looking at him from the side, he's really hard to judge, which is what we saw him most, was from the side. But we got a little film of him this morning turning, and you could see him from the back, and the tops were just, there's like mass up there and bulk up there, so that's what got me excited to.
I couldn't figure out what was going on.
It was just like
stuff.
Something unique. That's why I was like, dang, we lost him because we didn't see him for very long, but intrigued us for sure. So well worth sitting up on that point, spending all those hours glassing for him to come back. And you just don't get those crowns like that very often. That's just so unique. Bladed, love it. That's what I came for. Absolutely. No, you could not ask for a better buck than this. 7x7. We're gonna have a little meat tonight. Maybe some heart. I'll probably get in trouble with my daughter, but we'll eat some heart, and she can blame you for that.
I can take that.
But it's so cold that this meat's gonna get chilled tonight. One thing you can't do around here is hang it. There's just no trees. Just got to keep it nice and close to the tent. All right. Well, I got an inReach message from my wife and said now she wants me to not only take the heart and the liver and all that stuff, but she wants the spleen and the pancreas and of course the kidneys. So we're gonna bring out a little bit more guts on this one, a little bit more weight, but that's cool. It'll be interesting trying that spleen and also the adrenals. So I'm gonna break this thing down real quick and start filling game sacks. Probably, it's quite a few miles, but I want to take the bone with this one, get some bone broth. So I'm just gonna quarter this thing up, and we should be good.
Driving through West Virginia, and I've seldom been thinner, with that chip on my shoulder. And this past year I got so much older.
All right.
Looking back over my life, spent the most of it tongue-tied. I wish I'd had more time listening to you speak your mind. Now I'm thinking about it every day, on my mind a typical way. Are you a life force? Thinking about it every day, on my mind a typical way. Are you a life force?
Hey friends, thanks for watching this week's video. We just want to thank you for all the support you give in the channel and how much you're helping us continue to do what we love to do, which is capture these moments on film and bring them to you and share them with the world. And if you really like what we do, the best way to help us out is just to continue to leave us comments, like the videos, and subscribe and share the videos with your friends. That's huge for us. And our channel has doubled in 1 year. In 2020, we doubled in every metric on YouTube, so we really appreciate all of that. But we have a long way to go to get the word out that we make movies at all. So the more we can get your help, the better. And we're going to keep doing giveaways because it's a win-win for everybody. And last week we told you we were going to give away a brand new set of Peaks Gators and Peaks Sissy Sticks trekking poles, and we've selected a winner. We're going to announce that right now. But before we do that, we want to tell you about the giveaway we're doing this week on this video. So we're giving away 2 rangefinders this week. Then there's 2 ways to win. The rangefinders are here, right here. See, they're not really here, but they're here. If you want to win one of these rangefinders between now and next Sunday, to win rangefinder number 1, all you got to do is the standard: leave us a comment, like this video, and subscribe to this channel, and you're entered to win. And we're just going to randomly select a winner in the comment section and give that rangefinder to that winner. To win the other rangefinder, all you need to do is post about this week's video on your Instagram story, preferably with a link to YouTube that says, hey, go watch this. This is awesome.
Swipe up.
Swipe up, So post that, and make sure that when you do that post on your IG story that you tag myself, Brian_Call, and you tag Ryan Lampers, a.k.a. Stealthy Hunter. That's his IG handle at STHEALTHY, Stealthy. And we're going to keep track of everyone who shares about this video on their Instagram story, and we're going to select a winner from that group as well. So there you have it. 2 rangefinders we're giving away. You have between now and next Sunday to win. Good luck. And if you want to get more behind the scenes content from us, check out the Gritty Podcast. Ryan and I are going to be publishing a couple of podcasts this week. We're going to talk about shot placement. We're going to talk about the high lung shot he took in this video. And we're going to talk about some of the gear and other pieces that we used, and a little bit about mule deer in open plains late season. And hopefully you find that interesting and useful. If you want to check that out, that's the Gritty Podcast. You can find that at iTunes or anywhere you can find a podcast. All right, before we sign off, let's announce the winner. Who won this? Who won the Gators in the polls, Brent?
Driston Lewis.
Driston Lewis.
Driston, not Tristan.
Okay.
Driston.
Driston with a D. Mm-hmm. Okay. What was his comment?
Driston says, always appreciate when the Gritty series showcase what hunting actually is. There's humor, excitement, being cold, etc. It's always a joy to watch you guys hunt. Keep up the awesome work.
Thank you, Driston. And thank you to all of you who leave us comments. We are reading every single one of them. Hope you know that. Sometimes it might take a day for me to get back and go through them all, but we really appreciate all the comments. And those comments really do help the film make its way through those YouTube algorithms and get out there. And the more people we can get watching this stuff, the more our channel can grow, and we can keep bringing you this stuff. We had some snafus this year. We have a lot of awesome archery elk content that I know you all have been waiting for.
Some fall bear.
But the U.S. Forest Service decided that they don't want Gritty to publish films without commercial film permits, although they don't make everyone else have them. So it's a little bit of an awkward time, and we're not able to monetize a lot of the footage that we captured this year. Thankfully, we do have permits for this film, and we're able to share them with you, and permits for all the films moving forward. But it's a big setback for us. So anything you guys can do to help us out by sharing and liking and subscribing, it's huge. And also, in the description field below, we have all kinds of gear. And every time you purchase from one of our partners using our codes, that helps us monetize this show and helps us continue to bring you this content. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Stay gritty.